Welcome to the show with no interference. Get all your NFL needs made by fans for the fans. We are your hosts, West Side, Big Sass, and the Bull. So here we go. Alright, welcome to the show. This is No Interference. We are your hosts, West Side, Big Sass, and the Bull. This is episode 20, so kind of a milestone. That was a little ominous there. We're just gonna have a chill episode in between our schedule breakdown. After this, we're gonna dive into the
NFC.
Sorry, I was just trying to listen.
Yeah.
Alright, it can be edited still.
Oh, Jesus.
After this episode, we're going to dive into the NFC predictions, starting north, east, southwest. Same as we did for the AFC. But yeah, first thing on the menu today, Kyler Murray. He got a nice little extension. It is a 5-year, $230.5 million contract extension, bringing his annual salary to almost $46.1 million, which I believe is second most in the NFL. A little surprising, but what do you guys think?
Well, apparently all you have to do is cry nowadays and get whatever you want. Get a little money dispute there. I don't know. But, I mean, it is what it is. They have to look out for the future. Kyle Murray thinks he's the guy. The Cardinals thinks he's the guy. He's definitely played very well. Not so well in the postseason, but, he's got his little ankle injury. Again, I think it goes back to a lot of stuff we talked about the market itself. It's just so high right now, and everybody's going to be making a lot of money. If you want a top-tier quarterback, you have to pay for it. And the Cardinals just did.
True that.
Why do you think it was surprising, Taylor?
Okay, I mean, it's not surprising, I guess. Maybe that was a poor choice of words. It's just, I think this is I'll say a more of a poor reflection on the organization. Because they draft Rosen, give up on him after 1 year, bring in a new staff, draft Kyler 1-1.
Before you move off to that subject, though, anybody would have done that.
Yes, but
most people would agree. Like Rosen was kind of anyways, and then they had the number 1 overall pick.
Does Kyler Murray have a single playoff win?
No.
They wouldn't have any playoff wins. They wouldn't have any wins with Rosen.
Potentially, but okay. Kyler has done the same thing it's almost been 3 years where he comes out, puts up these gaudy numbers, and then he gets hurt, or I feel bad saying he falls apart because the whole team sort of does, but they fall apart. And then, like you saw what happened in the playoffs last year, the Rams just completely shut him down. But they bring in Cliff Kingsbury to be like the guru. They traded for DeAndre Hopkins. They brought in J.J. Watt. They brought in all these players to make Kyler as good as he can be. And in my opinion, he has a 3-year track record of can't get it done.
Yeah, especially last year with that hot start. I mean, they were the hottest team in football for 11 weeks? Or whatever, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 10, 11 weeks.
Yeah, and they just fell off so fast. I mean, I know, like I said, he did have that ankle issue, but I feel like every player is dealing with injury throughout the season no matter what. And if it's not sidelining you, then you still got to get the job done. That's why you get paid millions.
Yeah, I mean, his rookie year.
That lightning note just happened too, so it's like right outside.
Kyler Murray is the best quarterback alive. Surefire Hall of Famer.
Yep, move on.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And this is obviously nothing to do with his talent. He's very, very talented quarterback. He has quick feet. No matter how much the GIFs make fun of his little tiny legs, He's running.
Yeah, he
makes
doesn't
people
have no
miss.
stride. That's why he's got quick feet.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. He does.
He-
Well, I mean, so this is what I was
he's
saying
good.
before the rude interruption of the Thunder. But he had 26 and 12 with a 67 completion percentage in 2020. And last year, he was almost throwing 70% with 24 and 10. I mean, they're not amazing numbers, but I mean, I would take them.
I would like to
Alright,
see him get over 30
and
touchdowns.
That 70% completion percentage with a quarterback who's as mobile as him and as short as him, that's only gonna, and he's only 24 or 25 now. That's only gonna help him, and he's pretty good deep ball.
Mhm.
I'm
He
not
can
gonna
sling it.
sit here and say I'm not gonna sit here and say I watch every Kyler Murray game. I've mostly just seen his highlights and maybe a primetime game here or there. But he's good. The other thing I was gonna say is it seems like the quarterback market and maybe the NFL in general, and we've talked about this in videos, it's just all jacked up money wise
Mhm.
in the cap. Like Aaron Rodgers is number one in the league average salary per year for quarterbacks. We'd probably all agree that's fine.
Yeah.
Then Deshaun Watson, talent wise, you could it's Kyler Murray now with 100,000 more than Deshaun Watson. You could say Deshaun Watson talent wise, sure, but he might not even play.
Yeah. The thing.
And most people would say he doesn't deserve that money.
Mhm.
Then you have Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, which is all deserved. But then you have Derek Carr, Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, Ryan Tannehill, and Jimmy Garoppolo. That's top 15. I would say like over half of those quarterbacks are barely top 15 quarterbacks.
Money wise, they are, but talent wise, they are not.
Well, here's my
That's what you're saying,
last
talent-wise.
last parting thought. It's not even like he's getting these like, oh, he tore something in his knee this year. Oh, he messed up his shoulder this year. Oh, he sprained it, like fractured something this year. It's just every year after 8 to 10 weeks, it's like his body is just like, well, I can't take these hits anymore. And I would be like, it's like, what if you're the Cardinals? If I was the Cardinals, this is going to sound ridiculous, but in MLB now, all of a sudden we have openers because they want their good pitchers to be able to go through the hard innings and not waste them in the beginning of the game. And it is stupid. But if you're the Cardinals, would you consider just sitting out Kyler Murray for the first 4 to 5 weeks?
Just to rest his legs.
Just have him play. Just have him play in like the third.
I know. That you guys
have Kirk Cousins play quarter 1, 2.
You guys initially said, and I know when I said it, you guys were initially like, dumb idea, and then for a second you were like, I see how it could work.
Well,
because it's just never been done before
there's
like that. That's why I was trying.
It's never going to happen anyways. Because a quarterback's not going to. A quarterback would be like, no thanks. Then their salary would be diminished.
Their ego alone wouldn't let them do it.
And yeah, I mean, even us as competitors, like
100%.
playing basketball,
agreed. Our egos.
Like I don't want to be like there. Yeah, I don't want somebody to be like, you sit for the
need
first
a rest, but the game hasn't started yet.
10 points, and then you come in when we need the 11th.
Well, and it's like,
but
you see this more so in like the NBA. There's always players that you're like, oh, they're a good player, but we would say they're soft, but the more accepted term is they just don't have the body yet. And he's still young, so in the NBA, you'll see it all the time where a player in their 4th, 5th year will start hitting the weights, come back a little bit thicker, and then they can absorb contact a little better, and they can last longer. I feel like in the NFL, you rarely see that happen. But, I mean, I guess he could, in theory. I mean,
so is your biggest concern just injuries mostly?
Just the wear down. Like he's like. I'm not saying he's a running back, but it's like there are running backs that they're like they come out and kill it for the first 6 to 8 weeks, and then the second half of the season they're useless. Quarterbacks typically don't have that issue. Really, no other positions other than maybe like D-line. But with Kyler Murray, it's just after again 8 to 10 weeks of punishment, he just isn't. It's he's not even the same quarterback. Like it's very evident.
Yes. Dainty ankles.
Do you think that's completely his fault? Because
But where else are we gonna put blame?
Kingsbury has the same track record going back to college.
Well, I
of
don't.
the same stuff happening.
Kingsbury couldn't win with Patrick Mahomes in Texas Tech. I mean,
Well, exactly. He did the same thing that he's doing now with Kyler. Is it?
They're
maybe
winning.
It is a little bit of Kyler Murray wearing down. And has there? I know they've been kind of overhyped the last couple of years. Is the roster really that great, especially when they will lose DeAndre Hopkins?
I don't think so. I mean, don't get me wrong, the talent.
And DeAndre Hopkins was going off last year when he was playing healthy.
I mean, if we look at their
and
offense, their O-line's, I guess, average at best. But then they got James Conner's.
They're not a run
scrub,
heavy.
And he put up numbers when he was given a chance.
Not a scrub within 3 yards of the end zone.
I mean, they got Zach Ertz. They drafted Trey McBride.
Zach Ertz. You throw a tree nut on the field and it's a seal Terry.
Well, they got Marquise Brown now, AJ Green, DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh God, Marquise
Brown. They got Rondale Moore.
Destroy the world.
They got Rondale Moore. It's like, it's certainly not a bad team.
I'm not saying it's a bad team. I'm just saying it's a team that's definitely, with the wrong things happening, can lose some games. I'm just saying, I don't agree with what you're saying, disagree with what you're saying, but I think that Kyler Murray has enough talent to where if he can avoid the wear down of the season and his career, he has enough talent to be good, and I think the Cardinals are better off giving him the money than letting him walk or trade him.
Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson. Right now, who'd you pick?
Lamar Jackson.
I
don't even like Lamar Jackson, but it's no.
That's the reason why I asked.
I still like Lamar Jackson. I think
I only bring him up because I feel like Lamar's contract will be somewhat similar.
Kyler Murray definitely has a better pure arm. Lamar Jackson has to work on that. But Lamar Jackson, up until last year, could prove he's pretty durable, and he can win without like he has Mark Andrews, but other than that,
I think Rashad Bateman's got to make that.
They've never really had a
separate.
I like Lamar's poise. I think that's important as a quarterback.
There you go.
Yeah, and I think he's probably handled the contract situation.
And now, so this was Kyler Murray's technically last year on his deal. Then that's why he started the drama in the first place. No, so he's still he has
a fifth-year option.
So that's another reason. I was just like, you're kind of early, in my opinion, to be discussing this. Like next year, different story. But he made a fit. He threw a fit about it, and he had all that Twitter drama. It's unfollowing this, doing that, yada yada yada.
Maybe he is concerned about himself. Who knows?
That's a good point. Because
also, wasn't he a little bit of a? Didn't he have like? Remember, I can't even remember the details, but remember like the drama around like before he got drafted and with MLB and stuff. Didn't he have like drama?
There was rumors that if a team he didn't want to play for drafted him, he would just go play baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, John Elway did it.
Yeah. Understand. If you have the option.
All I worry about was the money. Obviously, baseball you can make more money, but it's also, in my opinion, a way tougher sport to go big in.
Wasn't he drafted like top 10 in baseball?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of Russell Wilson, but it was different times. But
Russell Wilson's a buster.
He could have played baseball too, though.
Baseball, you gotta wait a little bit longer to get the money
and all that. But once you hit big, man, you saw what Juan Soto got offered.
Just turned down, yeah, $415
15 years. That's a long time to commit to one team.
I wish I could turn down that much money.
Yeah,
$440.
And baseball's fully guaranteed.
I read the contract wrong. Come back.
The GM's walking away. Got him.
Yeah, you see the.
We almost had it.
Though they didn't pay for his flight to go to the home run derby. They didn't like set up a flight for him. He had to do it himself after he declined
Well,
the contract.
you know what? He won $1 million
pretty funny.
for winning it, so good for
Yeah,
him.
I'm a fan of Soto. Is what it is. It's a business. After
Oh,
Manny Machado,
you know what would have been even
that
funnier?
burn will never go away, but get you used to it.
They gave him a flight, but they gave him
Spirit
like
Airlines.
somewhere else because he didn't. He
Ended
Spirit
up
to like
either
Alaska, and he wasn't
or,
paying
the desert,
attention.
New Mexico. It's dry.
All right. Well, enough about that. We said it'd be a fun episode, and we're gonna stop. I'll stop hating on Kyler Murray.
Well,
Whoa!
But
whoa.
we can
Every
also point out
episode's
that
fun.
he got the similar contract with Sean Watson, but way less guaranteed money. The guaranteed money difference is pretty big. It's about 70.
Who got less
Kyler Murray
guaranteed?
only had 160 million guaranteed, where Deshaun Watson's is fully guaranteed. So that's $70
But
million.
that's not
Guaranteed at signing 105.
You know, Deshaun Watson's.
I don't know a practical guaranteed 160.
Deshaun Watson's deal is guaranteed 1 year at a time.
Yeah, because they can still back out. That was the best part.
They can basically back out every offseason.
Yeah.
But if he's on the
like a 1 year $46 million.
Basically, if he's on the roster
every year,
like after a certain date, the next year becomes guaranteed.
Wasn't Joe Flacco when he got his contract and he was the highest? Wasn't his like $20 million a year?
It was like 4 year, 100 million, 105
and that
million.
was back then. We were like,
Crazy.
whoa, that's a lot of freaking money. And now it's only been what 7 years.
And Joe Flacco had just came off a Super Bowl
yeah,
win.
Exactly. Like, that goes out the window now. But on to
now you don't have to win a playoff game. All right, so
where we're going is not better
that's
things.
for sure.
So we're gonna discuss what used to be a big passion of the group, Madden. The game that EA has destroyed.
It's still passion.
Passion of the Christ.
So Madden 23 is around the corner. This past year, we probably played less Madden than ever before.
Good reasons.
This is true. What do you want to talk about first?
This time we actually waited for it to drop to half
we
price.
all got it on deal.
And then we only played like...
We actually said we weren't going to buy this one, and then one of us went. It's just a tradition.
Yeah.
It's a rite of passage. Every year for football season, we have to get our chizing in.
Yeah, it is a rite of
no
passage.
W.
So, do we want to talk about the good things with Madden, or do we just want to trash it?
I mean, there's not that much good anymore. That's the thing.
Like, well, we are the Tri-Chis. I mean, that's the only reason. I don't care about. I mean, most of the people that would watch our channel most likely enjoy Madden. But I mean, I would say more people than not like Madden for like the stuff we don't play it for. Like, we love connected franchise, and we've done other things on it before with I can't even remember what they're called.
Ultimate
like
Team.
the cards. Ultimate Team. That had a time when it was fun.
I thought Ultimate Team was fun when it first came out. And
I'm not big into trading cards.
The thing now is like with like playing Madden like competitively, it's just the game is obviously broken, and if you don't take advantage of the broken parts of the game, you can't compete with good players online.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't find it fun to exploit broken parts of games. Pretty much, it's not cheating because the game allows you to do it, but it takes away the actual authenticity of running a football team and like calling the plays and picking apart defenses and all of it. That's kind of been an issue for all Maddens.
Yeah, I mean,
remember the rocket catch?
Yeah, I mean, I've literally mostly love Madden because us three just compete. Us three have been playing franchise together for
over 10 years. Yeah.
Over 10 years.
It's been a long time.
And it's a very heated competition to see
King of
who
Madden.
is the.
It's like how many trophies do you have on the wall right here?
But what do we call it though? What do we call it though?
The commissioner. It's always the
person who wins.
Become the commish. Head honcho.
No, we have a name for whoever wins the Super Bowl each year.
I thought it was something kingly.
It's not the King of Madden.
Tries King.
Champ.
King.
Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. But it's a good old fashioned competition. And yeah, I mean, as long as I don't care what they do with the game, as long as I just wish they would not so blatantly copy and paste from previous years. And I mean, it's the fault of people like us who continue to buy the game.
At least we bought it at half price this year.
Yeah, they're like, the three Chizers have been playing for years, bought it at half price this year. We got to restart the whole thing.
I mean, my thing.
We've been tracking these guys for 15 years.
My thing is the joke has been like, oh, Madden's copy and pasted every year, which I was like, whatever. But like the last 2 years, I'm like, it's not even a copy and paste. It's getting worse every year.
They literally took the screen, they put a screen on top of it. It glitches sometimes, and you see the old screen from last year's Madden of your coach pacing around the fucking room. When now they change.
That was funny.
Supposed to be like that this year. And like it's like what's going on?
That RJ, we're completely losing your connection, but we'll work with it.
Oh, it's storming heavy.
RJ's in a storm right now. We might lose him, but we're gonna work with.
See,
we're gonna work through it.
Has been breaking up the whole time.
We could take RJ's audio right now and put him as C3PO, and it would be no different.
Hopefully,
I wish you could hear
like
RJ.
An actual recording.
Oh dear, we're trying to run a podcast right now.
Yeah, you sounded like
depression. Don't hold me.
You sounded like what's his face? No, you sound like what's his face from South Park. Jimmy.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Anyways, back to Madden.
Here's my issue.
This is the problem we have with Madden glitches like this.
Honestly, like RJ was talking about it before we started getting off topic. There was literally a glitch.
I'm just trying to kick a field goal without having
the field goal lag glitch. The glitch where like a pop up will never go away from your screen unless you shut down the whole app and then reopen it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the draft glitch this year where it kept erasing us to back.
Yeah.
For like it wasn't like a month.
That was rough.
We couldn't play for like a month.
No, we went back. We played after we
Madden fixed that.
Oh, I thought we were stuck at that draft and we never went back to that child.
No,
we went back.
No, we did
stop. It was like
a
month
back.
where we couldn't play because no matter how far you advanced, it glitched you back to the first pick of the draft for that season. No matter if you played 1 week, 10 weeks, got to the next draft, it just glitched. And Madden, EA, like took forever to address that was even a glitch, and it took forever to fix it, even though they were getting their page blown up every day by complaints.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that they not only copy and paste, but they add a random feature every year instead of fixing the features they already have. They'll just add, and they bring back stuff from the past too. Like in this year, they're bringing back where you can spot the ball. It's like you had that before. Like, just find a formula and rock with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of thinking about it. It's kind of weird to say they can't copy and paste it, but I mean, you kind of have to keep you just want to keep making the game better. But it's like they change stuff.
Like when they said they were going to make scouting
like,
better, but they basically ruined the entire scouting for franchise.
They're saying they're making it better again this year too. We'll see.
Yeah. Now the video. Yeah, the video you sent us, RJ.
Brought that up.
It looked like it had some good stuff in there, but
I don't think they actually got to watch it. But they're saying they're really adding more to franchise to make it worth playing. Guess we'll have to find out. I just want to be able to play and not have any issues.
that's another thing. I'm glad they added a lot of that stuff. Like free agency is a lot more in depth now. They fixed some stuff to the draft that they kind of made weird last year, but like the gameplay is like 75% of like the game's importance, and I didn't see anything about gameplay in the
It's just all
update.
about the new features and the modes. The free agency is going to be cool because they're giving players traits, though not the same traits we're used to, but traits of like they want to play for their home field team or they're like big markets, stuff like that. So it all goes into free agency, like who they decide between. It's not just about the highest number they get, offered.
Here's my thing. I've been saying this probably for 10 years now. All I want is there to be a clear difference between pass blocking, run blocking, and pass rushing and run defense. I can't stand it when you have a defensive tackle that all his stats are describing of a heavy run defender, and then as soon as you go and pass the ball, he bull rushes your guard, throws him out of the way, and gets a turbo sack because his run blocking is so high that regardless if you're throwing the ball or not, he gets right through. Vice versa, you could have a 200-pound, and then you could have a 200-pound defensive end that has no strength, no run defending at all, but he has 90 speed and he has like 90 finesse move. So you can't run at him at all because all he does is instantly swim move your left tackle and hits you for a 5-yard loss every time you run at him. For like 10 years now, I've been praying that was fixed, and it never is.
Yeah, the run blocking in general has been butt for a long time.
Oh yeah, that was one of the new things. They brought back the gang tackling.
Pass blocking was horrible last year.
Oh yeah, the turbo sacks and everything. Well, they said they're bringing back gang tackling. Remember when they did that like 8 years ago or so, and all it did was add an animation where you would get tackled and your running back would start doing this, and all of a sudden would break out for a wide open touchdown because he just broke out of an 8-man pile up.
Yeah, another one of the annoying glitches is when the players they touch the person with the ball and they don't even make an attempt to tackle. They just like phase off of them, even though you were there for at least for the attempted tackle. They just they just go right through, or they just fall off like a goddamn rag doll. No audio. God.
I think.
Yep, that was pretty rough.
I think I caught the tail end of it. But yeah,
R.I.P.
But
hey, Derrick Henry is the number one running back ratings wise. Thank God.
Yeah, and that took forever.
How is Christian McCaffrey still 96?
Well, apparently in Madden, as long as you get hurt, they won't.
They got to take the injuries into
Here's my
account.
thing with. Here's my thing.
The availability. Like Jonathan Taylor's better than Christian McCaffrey and Nick Chubb.
Here's my thing. It's like they have no like. It's like they don't have a clear rating strategy. It's like if you used to be good and you fell off, they still keep you good because you used to be good. If you're if you are injured, if you're injured and old, they still keep you good because you're injured. So they're still good. They're just hurt. If you're young and they're doing good, they take forever to shoot you up, but you're still doing pretty good. And then if you're a guy that doesn't put up good numbers, but your efficiency ratings are high, they make you good. So you have all these players up here that are all 90s, and then there's no middle ground, and then you have all these other players that are like, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I was looking at some ratings.
Like Jeffrey Simmons was an All-Pro and a Pro Bowler, and he's like the 9th defensive tackle.
Oh, I thought he was lower than that. I thought they did him real dirty.
Well, this is I have no respect for these ratings right now, even though it's not important. But Jake Elliott's not even the top 13 for kicking. He's not even an 80.
The Titans punter was a Pro Bowl punter for 4 years. The Titans
He's a
punter
top
was a
5
Pro Bowl
kicker.
punter for like 3 years in a row, and he was like a 78 in Madden.
Makes no sense.
Whack.
All I know is I've seen.
I'm surprised they don't have what's that
Parsons?
Cowboys edge guy? Micah Parsons. I'm surprised he's
Yeah, they've done
I
decent
still
with the
can't get-
rookies
how's
going
it-
sophomore year.
Oh,
How is
he's an
Cooper Kupp
88.
not the number one receiver?
Yeah,
Yeah, but he was
He's
he
number
won
2.
the Triple Crown.
yeah. It's everybody's saying because
He led the league in like every
because he's but like
Devontae Adams.
I'm fine with Devontae Adams being a 99,
well.
but Cooper Kupp needs to be a 99. It's Madden 23,
Yeah.
not Madden all time.
That's what a lot of people were saying. That Cooper Kupp
And
he didn't earn it yet. I was like, what are you talking about? He had Jared Goff the first
And
half
then
of
it's
his
like,
career.
and then the other thing with like the ratings
Yeah.
during the season, if you're a Cowboys, like if the Cowboys had like some random safety that by week 3 has a few interceptions and a few like pick sixes, they'll all of a sudden jump up to being like a 95. But if you're like on the Washington Commanders and like let's say what's your guys' rookie receiver you drafted?
Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, if you're Jahan
yeah,
Dotson. If he comes out and he's like, if he pops off for like a Terry McLaurin type rookie year, he'll still finish the year like only being like a 75 or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every time.
And how is Mark Andrews so far off from Kittle and Kelsey? Kelsey's a 98, Kittle's a 97, and Mark Andrews is a 93. Mark Andrews had one of the best tight end
Yeah,
years
I
of all
guarantee
time
you
last year.
it's
didn't he?
because he has low.
As well.
I guarantee you it's because he has low blocking ratings. But Travis Kelsey's.
What tight
Kittle's
ends
the only
block
one
that much?
Really holds a name for himself in blocking.
Like, how is Kyle Pitts an
He had
87
1,000
already?
yards last year. But they usually do pretty good with the rookie going sophomore.
Is he better than Dallas Goedert?
No.
He's more of a Kyle Pitts is legit a wide receiver playing tight end. Then, so I feel like he's not a true tight end.
And then
Yeah, I
you
don't
got
know how
Mark
Cooper's
Cooper's
a
at
90.
90.
So.
Stinkfest the last 2. Look at his stats.
He
the
should
last
be
2
like an
seasons.
85. If he has a good
Yeah.
year, make him a 90.
Well, the Cowboys' bias is always there. Exactly.
Yeah, and he's not healthy.
It's why the Cowboys almost every year have like a top 3 team in Madden.
Austin Eckler is the same as
Elliott's
Ezekiel
at 88
Elliott.
Still, I'm like, what the hell is this?
And Saquon Barkley is... it doesn't say what he is. Just says he's
I
number
had the
7.
ratings up earlier.
Whatever. I need to see some gameplay for the new one. Definitely, if you looked at a chart, it would not be going in the right direction.
I think, and this is what also aggravates me, if like us 3 had like creative control for like a year, it would.
I will not fight him.
It would literally be
for
like
creative
the best
control.
Madden to come out like in 12 years.
Yeah, let me write up the plan. Let us write up the plan. You execute. Somebody
I mean,
execute.
it's not like EA was like the same team that made.
I want the Red Dead Redemption guys out here making
How
the
can we
Madden.
trust EA to make our game when they are also responsible for Anthem?
I mean, EA as a whole has been known as one of the worst companies, not just
Doo-doo.
video game companies, but companies in general in America. They are garbage.
They ruined Battlefront.
everything.
Well, sports games overall, like NBA 2K this year was garbage. And it's been getting worse. Like 2K hasn't been good since like
That's just because
2016 or 15.
More pay to play.
And yeah, I mean, the show I like a lot. They've kind of figured out what works, and they don't do that much
I
different.
think,
And then, I mean, FIFA has got a really good rap, but I just never
if
really
some of the
played it
pay
that
to play
much.
elements were outlawed like they are in some other countries, I think you'd see games steadily improve. Because it's like the solo games where there's like no online whatsoever. Those are the games that are consistently like
They're always the best.
being talked about and blowing everyone's mind. Because all these, I think if you're gonna make a pay to play game, the game itself needs to be free. Don't.
I bet you. I bet you 100. Sorry to cut you off. I bet you $100 that your resume to get on EA versus Naughty Dog is like you don't even have to really know what you're doing.
I would put my money on that.
Like they give you a paper. They give you a paper and they're like, just follow these steps.
You put the square in the square hole.
It's the same thing it was the last 10 years.
Triangle hole, and that's how you do it.
Well, it's like, remember this year for Madden 22, what was the big thing? That they fixed franchise. And the game comes out and they're like, oh, the franchise updates actually aren't going to be out for like 3 months. Or no, it was longer.
Well, it just tells you right there all they want is, they just want to meet their deadline for their wallets.
If I could go on the store and download Madden for free, I know it's on Game Pass, but Game Pass you still got to pay for, and you got to wait like 6 months for it to be on there. Mm-hmm. But if Madden, I could go on the store every year and buy it for free, then I wouldn't mind spending money on Ultimate Team or buying points for other stuff. But if I'm dropping $70 on the game, and then you're focusing all your effort on fixing the parts of the game that I have to pay extra for, who wants to do that?
Exactly. And all they care about is their dumb momentum system that they added, which probably spent most of their time on. So the screen shakes at the worst times. Like,
remember the first time me and you played, Trevor, and I threw what would have been a game-winning pass, but my receiver just dropped it because the momentum said my receivers had bad hands for like a drive.
Yeah, the whole thing is just dumb.
Yeah. And then the one where you could like
you can see their running, you could see their zones.
You can mess up their play.
Well, that's like in franchise they added the coaching tree, which I think did 0 for the game, but then you could buy points to like you could pay real money to get points to boost your coaching tree. So I'm like, you clearly only did that to have something else to sell.
Yeah, the whole pay to play like style of games, just in my opinion, is just clear as day that all they care about is their money, and they don't care about the quality of the game itself. They just want to milk as much money out of us as they can, and unfortunately, that's how it's working. It's probably the worst part about capitalism at the end of the day. Like, it is what it is, but greedy people will prosper.
Boycott EA Sports.
I've been saying that for a long time, but nobody can stick around and do it. Stick it to the man.
Well, that's always been my problem, is that my joy playing with y'all trumps wanting to boycott.
EA, we just want a solid football game. Otherwise, someone else is going to put out a game, and we're going to leave you for that.
I thought 2K was coming back. What happened to that? Bull snap.
It's not going to be the same type.
Well, they still have the exclusive contract too. EA owns the rights to the Madden, to like the NFL names and all that shit. That is true.
But NCAA is coming back.
NCAA always had better gameplay, in my opinion.
Yeah, hopefully.
I like the feel. I actually like the feel.
It was different. It worked for college.
Liked it. I'm happy that's coming back. So I'm beating Nick Saban.
Dirty bastards.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was one of the last NCAAs, but it was the year after EJ Manuel got drafted, and I was a fan of EJ Manuel when he played at Florida State. And I got on NCAA, and I was like, I'll use the backup for my road to the whatever it was called, Dynasty Mode or whatever. And they didn't have names, but it was like accurate to the player. and I like won Player of the Year and all this stuff, and it was Jameis Winston, and I was like, I made him. And then next year he came out and
He's the
lit it
guy.
up with Florida State.
I did that.
I did that.
Don't you enjoy that? Like with playing like NCAA or Madden, and you like take some random guy and like light up the game, and then all of a sudden they start popping off, and you're like and not to have a Disney reference, but in Hercules, there's like I just want everyone to be like, that's Phil's boy.
Yeah, it's perfect reference. Oh.
Well, it's like in Madden, we were putting
Feels-
Cordell Patterson at running back for like the last 8 years, and then Bill Belichick does it, and they're like, what a genius. He couldn't catch the ball, but he's still athletic, so let him run it. And I'm like, yeah, no duh. We've been doing that since Madden 13 or 14.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a top pick too.
Or this is getting a little off topic now, but to show like how over impressed people are with these coaches and players. But what was that? Was it in the NFL? It was like a player or a coach
it was Sean McVay
recalled
just
what
naming
happened.
the other team's roster, like their starters, off the top of his head. Yeah,
I'm like, I could do that if like maybe not. I can't do it like we used to, but when we were like, heavy in everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
wise,
could-
I was like, I could do that in my sleep.
Every team.
You could pull any of us when we were like 20, 21, and we could name every starter at every position on almost every single team just off the top of our heads. Not like we're about to play them in the NFL and should know them anyway.
Yeah, I gotta
Well, it's like
swindle
with,
these other GMs, man.
what was
Papa pick you.
the bum Jaguars coach this past year?
Urban Meyer.
Yeah, Urban Meyer. That story came out that their coach was like, we should really watch out for Aaron Donald. He was like, yeah, whoever that 99 is, I heard he's really good. I'm like, what would you do if you were
crazy to me?
Football knows who Aaron Donald is. Like, come on now.
What would you do if you're the GM and you guys have like a weekly just state of the franchise meeting, and you're about to play the Rams, and your first year coach is like, we're just working on defending 99 because I hear he's a good player, and then you are like, wait, that's Aaron Donald, you idiot! Like I would be like, just turn your keys, turn your paperwork, like you're fired.
What a joke he was. That's just one example
Yeah,
as to why he was a joke as well.
I mean, the Jaguars owner probably doesn't know that much about football.
When he bought the team, I didn't think he was going to last this. I thought he was going to sell out by now. Yeah,
he is a financial mogul.
Yeah,
that's why they use him as the picture.
It's the best route to go, owner wise. Get the extra bucks.
Yeah, we don't want to run out here and
reset the
league
cap.
Start over.
Note to all you youngins out there: the cap
times.
does bear some weight in the future.
Fuck Matt Ryan.
Has to be paid eventually.
Future.
All right. On a side note, I was on vacation when this story broke. Did y'all see the Zach Wilson story
about how he hooked up with his friend's mom?
I thought it was his mom's friend
or whatever it was. His mom's friend, yeah. He was MILF.
It was his mom's friend or something, but he was like, yeah. Well, apparently, he broke up with his girlfriend or something.
Hey man, he wants to be a single guy in the NFL style.
Trying to get later.
It was so funny because the story broke
superstar.
The story broke, and then like every update I saw was like tweets of people like celebrating Zach Wilson.
The memes were great.
I'm sorry, but he's not going to be good.
We'll see.
He definitely has a Sam Darnold, Jared Goff type of, I don't know, aura. I think he's
don't do Jared Goff that dirty.
Barely.
He got to a Super Bowl,
scored 3 points.
That's because Bill Belichick taught Sean McVay a lesson in coaching.
I do like some McVay actually.
Yeah. Don't show up to the championship.
Redskins coaching trees, man. They go on and do great stuff and leave us behind in the dirt.
Don't show up to the championship game as a one-trick pony and get embarrassed on national television. No,
But he came back.
Matt Stafford came to town in his shining
won.
armor and said, "Hop on my back, I'll carry you to the
This is how
championship."
it's done. I'll show you how to sling that rock.
See that mountain? See the mountains over there?
Sean McVay had some good coaching adjustments in that game. Want to see me throw this ball over the mountains?
I don't know. He
Done
did
that
have
many
to
times.
sell out a little bit last year, but it worked.
It must be nice having a ring.
Bringing in Odell, Von Miller.
Hey, it's anyone's. This is a wide open year.
But
in
hey,
football,
we're
I
gonna bring it
think.
back. If you can't win rings in real life, go get on Madden, start a franchise, and dominate the league. That's what you do. Create
Just don't play.
Yep.
Just don't
Take
play
a
on
franchise
all Madden.
that's never done it and do it for 'em.
create your own
All pro and
destiny.
all Madden is huge.
Yeah, don't start a Madden franchise with all Madden 15-minute quarters, thinking that's how the game works, and then embarrass yourself in front of all your friends.
The 15-minute quarter thing rings a bell.
That was rough.
Well,
It's like a 3-hour game.
It was the worst of
yeah,
times.
for real. Well, anything else y'all want to discuss tonight?
My prediction is Madden's going to be ass again. That's all I'm saying.
Mm,
Are we going to play it? Yeah, probably not. Do I want to? No, but I will.
I'm holding out faith. Yeah, I'm holding out faith to see some gameplay and what other people
Definitely waiting for that
think.
discount again, though.
It also depends on what games are coming out, because there ain't nothing coming
Yeah.
out.
EA Sports,
just
we
might
take
have
back
more
everything we
time.
say. Send us a free copy of Madden.
Now the new Saints Row should be out by then. I'll play that or something. Forget that.
But we haven't been.
I'm
Yeah, I
playing
mean,
the Quarry
we
right
haven't
now. It's
played
actually
nothing
really
in
good.
forever.
All right,
The
guys.
Quarry.
The what?
For,
Never heard of it.
Stray.
There's a new cat
Stray,
game out
yeah.
for $30 on PS5.
And Max,
All right,
it's a
guys.
5-hour game. For
I
both.
don't babble on it.
forget everything we said. Let's get this video to 1,000 likes. EA Sports, if you send us all 3 free copies of the game, we'll host a no interference Madden tournament.
And I do not promise I won't talk shit about your horrible game.
Well, there goes our promotion.
Oh god, no. I just want. Honestly, me and Taylor used to play head to head. Yeah, we used to
That's
play
actually a
head-to-head
pretty
online
good
a
idea.
lot,
We should
even
do that
with all the
anyways.
bullshit. But since we haven't had a quarterback in the last 5 years, I don't like getting. I like playing with the skins, obviously. So I haven't really been trying to play because overalls have been really, it's pretty shit. Now that we got Carson Wentz and we got a good receiving core and some talent on that offense, I might get back in the head to head again just because. Because I hate using the best team to try and get, or I do random sometimes too. But I prefer
remember,
using my team.
remember the last year RJ Meany went to the midnight release and they had a tournament.
I've been there
And
several times.
the last one me and you went to, and the guy that I played in the final round, he was
doing a lot
only
of this.
using. He was talking, and then all he was using was the Broncos and the Seahawks and the Panthers, which were the 3 best teams in the game.
That was
And
you wiped the
and
floor.
your boy ran the
Garbage.
whole tournament with the Titans. Derrick Henry's rookie year.
Mm-hmm. Those good times. Me and Sass went to one the one time.
Yeah, I remember that
I failed the
story.
championship. It was so bad. Running 2-minute quarters though. Yeah.
Stupid
There's no time
2-minute
for a rally.
quarters. If Madden is successful and we incorporate it to this channel, doing
We could do our
streaming
franchise,
like
yeah.
live stuff and whatnot, we could, if there's a lucky fan out there that wants to try and go through the 3 levels of hell,
There's
you
no
want-
interference
you
Madden
might win
challenge.
something
You
nice.
gotta beat
Start a
all
new
3 of
challenge.
us.
Yeah, invite them into the Chaz. You got all in the same division. Got to deal with it twice a year.
That would be pretty cool.
We haven't had somebody
We
join the
know-
Tri Chaz. It's never
Yeah.
been the 4th.
Yeah.
Oh yes. But
You
that's what we're
can't
doing.
join
One
the
lucky fan
Chais.
gets
It's
to
an
partake.
exclusive group.
We're like the Illuminati.
They just get to try to win.
It's a secret club. A bunch of rich old white men sitting in the basement smoking cigars, looking at naked women. Not real naked women, just pictures.
Mm.
It's like good old speakeasy.
There's still pictures.
What's the password? Titties. Freemasons over here.
Why couldn't your audio be jacked up now?
Oomph.
Oof.
All right. Is that going to do it for the show today, boys?
I reckon it
Never.
is. We should cut this last few
The
minutes
last few
out.
minutes.
Just
Give
kidding.
some
Leave it.
pizzazz.
Gives the episode
All right,
flavor.
well, that-
People will laugh.
That does it for the show. Once again, this
5,
is
10
No
viewers.
Interference, and we are your host, Westside, Big Sass and the Bull. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Thank you for all of our listeners. If you already subscribe, good for you. You're making a great life choice. If you're not, you still have time to turn your life around.
Do better.
Screw you.
Subscribe, like.
Just kidding. Please,
If you really feel
like
like
our
it, share the
videos.
videos. Follow us on social media.
And listen, you don't have to watch it. We want you to watch it. It helps us. But if you like and subscribe, it builds the channel, and we can only get better.
Listen.
We can give you guys better.
only
prizes.
replace the Bull if you give us enough attention to get money to do it. Otherwise, we're stuck with him on the show.
Contract's contract. You got buy me out.
The next person to view the show,
What?
the next
No.
episode gets to shave Arthur's beard.
Shave my ass. Get out of here. It's pretty hairy too. Jesus.
Well, I think that's a great way to end it. Once again, thank you to all of our listeners out there. Depending on when you're listening, good night, good morning, but adios.